Time now for the Nick Hart Show, our weekly chat with the head coach of the Gibson Southern Titans, Nick Hart. It's brought to you by the Gibson Southern Football Boosters, including Absolute Custom Machine LLC, ADG Architecture and Design Group Limited, Angermeyer Electric, Brett's Car Care, A&T Concrete Supply, Brian Stevens Homes, Carriage Inn, Chips, SellMyTees.com, by Cordray Insurance Agency, LLC, Shelter Insurance, by Davis Brothers, Daylight Land Management, LLC, Daywig Meats of Hobstadt, Dilbeck Properties, Diversified Instruments, Duke Energy, Emerson Cattle Company, ERA First Advantage Realty, Rodney Langford, by Fast Break Convenience Stores, by Flanders, by Fort Branch Car Wash, Foster Construction, Bryman Land Service LLC, by Hobstadt Summerfest, by Heritage Federal Credit Union, Heritage Petroleum, Hillside Gardens Landscaping and Garden Center, HMC Gears, in memory of Darwin and Eric Callis, by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, Nathan Belote, by Jarbo Tax Service, JMCO Technologies, Johnson Commercial Mowing Incorporated, K&K Excavating Incorporated, Casey Fuquay, State Farm Agent, Kathy Solman Photography, Key Construction Company Incorporated, Kiesel Wagner Survey LLC, by Lively Machine Company, by Landscape Supply Incorporated, Lowry Ag, by Mytech Systems, Morton Solar LLC, by National Vet Health, by Ohio Valley Grain Inspection Incorporated, also by Parker Excavating, Perfect Climate Heating, Air and Plumbing, by Pole Concrete Construction, Prodigy Mold and Tool Incorporated, by Pro Rehab of Hobstadt, Prudential Advisors, The Barthel Agency, Rawhide Golf Supplies, Riano Family Fitness, Sandy's Pizza and Mini Storage, Shearer Monument, Scotty's Lawn Equipment, Singleton's Country Kennel, Stodgel Funeral Home, Team Black Law, PC, by Tai Chow, The Brass Ring and Pizza Kitchen, The Image Inks Company, Titan Construction Partners, TYFL, the Titan Youth Football League, by Varnado Construction, Vomac Truck Sales and Service Incorporated, We Simply Clean, by Whitledge Tree Service, and Young's Auto Body. The Nick Hart Show, a special production of the Wabash Valley College Radio, TV, and Digital Media Department.
First, before the interview with Coach Nick Hart, as always, we'll look at the stats from Friday night's win against the Washington Hatchets. First in the rushing game, Grant Stinson, 2 attempts, 5 yards. Maddox Potts, 1 attempt, 12 yards. Zach Foster, 11 attempts, 49 yards, and a touchdown. Chase Thaxton, 18 attempts, 129 yards, and a touchdown. Eli Foster, 4 attempts, 58 yards, and a touchdown. In the passing game, Zach Foster went 15 for 24, 205 yards, 2 touchdowns, a passer rating of 117.5. In the receiving game, Grant Stinson, 11 targets, 7 receptions, 110 yards, and a touchdown. Maddox Potts, 2 receptions, 28 yards. Lloyd Sellers, 3 receptions, 24 yards, and a touchdown. And on the defensive end of the game, a sack for Brody Clem, Spencer Staggs, and Cale Campbell. Now, for the interview with Coach Nick Hart.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Coach Nick Hart Show. I'm Riley Angel here, as always, with head coach Nick Hart. Coach, obviously a big bounce-back win for you guys against Washington. Just take me through how you felt the team performed last Friday.
I thought there was good, and I thought there was some bad. The important thing is, got a win and kind of got that back going. I thought we played some good football at times. I think one thing this group has to get a lot better at, and you look at some of the games where maybe even we've won, but I don't think we handle adversity really well right now. It's something we got to improve at. Something I got to get better at about getting that message across. I thought we come out, we drive right down the field, we score, we get a 3 and out, get a roughing the punter, and you could just kind of feel the air go out of us. I didn't think I thought it took us too long to kind of battle back through that instead of continuing to play the way we had for about the first 12, 15 plays of the game. So I think that's something that we definitely have to improve at here as we get close to tournament time. It's just going and playing the next play and winning the next play. But I thought there was some stretches of some really good things. I thought we had too many penalties, and a lot of times, I don't mind. Not that we want them, but like pass interference, holding, like those are aggressive penalties that you're trying to make in the course of a play. We had too many pre and post play penalties, and those are the ones that you can really control. So we got to do a better job of cleaning that up and being a little bit more disciplined.
Now, with those penalties, you guys had 7 penalties for 80 yards last week. Is that more of just a focus thing, like you said, to try and get that back on track?
Yeah, I think, and like I said, sometimes in each game's called differently, right? Like each crew's going to call things certain ways. So the number of penalties, again, if they're in the course of the play, a face mask, like that's a kid trying to make a tackle, like pass interference, this kid trying to go make a play on the ball, like those things happen. I just thought too many of ours were pre-snap, post-snap type of stuff, that we can do a little bit better job on. Like the roughing the punter, I don't even really have an issue with. I thought it was not that it was a bad call. It was just a call that, like, it's tough. It could go either way. It went against us. I didn't think we were in like a terrible position or we made a reckless play on, like, just coaching our team, not talking about the call, just coaching our team. That was, that was one that I can live with. But, there was some, post-snap, pre-snap things, that we got to clean up. We can't jump off sides on 4th and 2. We can't get a personal foul at the end of the play. Like those type of things are the things that get you beat. So, we got to get a little bit better at that, from a discipline standpoint. I thought, overall there were some really good things, to take out of that game. I think we talked last week, Washington's much improved. And I think they showed that they've improved a lot. And, I thought our guys, again, just we got to get better at playing through when things don't go our way. But once we did that, I thought our guys, played some pretty good football.
Yeah, and at the end of that first quarter, it was tied at 7. What did you make of your team's ability to reset after that first quarter and really kind of pull away with it in the second, third, and fourth?
I thought it was good. I mean, I don't even think in the first quarter it was just kind of like getting through that, something bad happened to us and, and playing through it. I thought defensively we continued to play pretty well after that first drive. Offensively there was just we'd miss a blitz pickup or, we get ourselves a little off schedule, and we were moving the ball but not finishing. And I thought they did a much better job of finishing off drives there in the second half. So, I thought after halftime we did a really good job of responding and kind of taking a breath and going out and playing football.
When we return to the Coach Nick Hart Show, we talk about a big field goal from last week and the plan against Mount Vernon on Friday.
The Nick Hart Show on 89.1 The Bash is brought to you by Absolute Custom Machine LLC, ADG Architecture and Design Group Limited, Angermeyer Electric, A&T Concrete Supply, Brian Stevens Homes, Brett's Car Care, Carriage Inn, Chips, SellMyTees.com, by Cordray Insurance Agency LLC Shelter Insurance, by Davis Brothers, Daylight Land Management LLC, Daywig Meats of Hobstadt, Dilbeck Properties, Diversified Instruments, Duke Energy, Emerson Cattle Company, ERA First Advantage Realty Rodney Langford, by Fast Break Convenience Stores, by Flanders, by Fort Branch Car Wash, Foster Construction, Bryman Land Service LLC, by Hobstadt Summerfest, and by Wabash Valley College.
And obviously a big field goal in that second quarter, I believe, came about and he sunk a 51-yarder. I mean, how important is that for a high school team to have a kid who can go out there and put 3 points on the board when you guys aren't even really past the 40?
Yeah, it was huge. That was a big play to get it to 2 scores because they were getting the ball to start the second half, and it was a big kick. I think it's even more impressive when you kind of watch it. It's a high snap, and Cam has to stutter a little bit. Zach did a great job of getting the ball down, and Cam did a great job of not kind of panicking through it. So I think that little stutter that he had to take makes it even more impressive. No, it was a great kick, great hold, and again a big play. And I think again, offensively, just how we went, we got the ball back with 16 seconds left, and Parsons has a couple of big catches, and he has the awareness there, to get out of bounds, and save us a little bit of time to be able to try and kick the field goal. All around, it was just great execution there at the end of the half, to be able to get that field goal.
Now, looking forward to Mount Vernon, obviously they're 4-3. They've lost 2 of their last 3, but they were able to beat this much improved Washington team. Overall, what do you make of Mount Vernon this year?
Yeah, I think they do some really nice things. Offensively, their quarterback does a good job of spreading it around. They have some nice weapons. And then, defensively, they're going to play some man and get after you, kind of similar to what we saw last week out of Washington. So, we got to be able to they motion a lot, similar to Washington. I think Washington, motioned a lot more coming into our game than they did against us. But Mount Vernon uses a lot of pre-snap movement, so just making sure we're sound on the back end, and we're all in the same call. It's very important. And then for our offense, just picking up pressure, and executing it at a high level, and very important. And I think they're young, and they're getting better. And like I said, they beat Washington, and we had our hands full last Friday night. So we got to come out and be ready to go here on Friday.
And when a team defensively does show a lot of man, what's the counter to that for the offense?
Well, there's a bunch of different ways to go to it, and I think it kind of depends on how they're playing man. It can make it tougher to run the box depending on what they're putting in the box. With man, because there's different ways to play man to man, so it kind of depends on what your box looks like. But you just got to be very crisp with your routes, and what you're doing. Zone, you can kind of speed cut things a little bit more and put guys in conflict a little bit quicker. And against man, if you speed cut things, that's easy to cover. So, just having that recognition of what my route needs to look like, versus, zone and versus man, is important. Is, one of the reasons why, because it's important to us, and it's one of the reasons why we do a lot of 7-on-7 stuff over the summer, is to make sure that we kind of understand the difference between those two things. I just got to be more precise in my routes, with man-to-man coverage as opposed to zone, because you have that guy attached to you the whole time. So you've got to find a way to make separation. So my route has to be more precise.
When we return to the Coach Nick Hart Show, we talk about the defensive plan for this Friday's matchup against Mount Vernon.
You're listening to the Nick Hart Show, brought to you by Heritage Federal Credit Union, Heritage Petroleum, Hillside Gardens Landscaping and Garden Center, HMC Gears, in memory of Darwin and Eric Callis, by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, Nathan Belote, by Jarbo Tax Service, JMCO Technologies, Johnson Commercial Mowing Incorporated, K&K Excavating Incorporated, Casey Fuquay, State Farm Agent. Kathy Solman Photography. Key Construction Company Incorporated. Kiesel Wagner Survey LLC. By Lively Machine Company. By Landscape Supply Incorporated. Lowry Ag. By MyTech Systems. Morton Solar LLC. By National Vet Health. By Ohio Valley Grain Inspection Incorporated. Parker Excavating. And by Perfect Climate Heating, Air, and Plumbing.
And without giving too much away, what's the plan defensively to try and stop some of that motion?
Well, I mean, we can't stop them from motioning, but the goal is just to make sure that we're in the right call and everybody's on the same page, right? What motion can do to you is if you're playing trips a certain way and doubles a certain way, and they motion from one to the other, it doesn't matter. And if you have half your guys playing what the call was for doubles and they've motioned to trips, and half the guys are playing the doubles call and half the guys are playing the trips call, that's going to obviously end up in some busted coverages. So just making sure that we're all on the same page in the back end to make sure, that we don't blow something, and that's, coverage wise, and that's, where communication comes in, and we don't have to be in the perfect call. We just have to be, in the correct call, in the same call. If we're all in the same call, that's really going to help out. So, we've practiced it. We probably motioned more this week with our scout team than what they will on Friday night, but you just want that repetition of, making sure that you're getting the correct coverage in. And everybody's on the same page.
And we talked a little bit about this when you guys played Heritage Hills, but with Mount Vernon being a possible sectional opponent, does that play in at all to what will happen on Friday?
Yeah, and I think especially, I mean, you're getting, really close here. I think it was last year. We played them round one. So you play week 8 and you play week 10. That's a quick turnaround. With Heritage Hills, it's 6 to 10. At least there's like 3 more games of, stuff that's going to get shown and stuff. 8 to 10, you're only playing off of your game and, one more game. So, yes, there is, but also like there's a 1 in 7 chance that you're going to draw them here out of the gate. So, yeah, I don't think you want to like show everything, but we got to execute our stuff well and come out and attack and do those type of things.
And with it only being 2 weeks away now till the end of the season, you have this game and then the next one. How do you make sure the team stays focused from week to week instead of looking forward towards sectionals?
Well, because I think that can be an issue. When you're playing good football, really good football, and maybe you're the top in the sectional, and your kids are getting excited for the sectional. We've got to get a lot better here in these next couple of weeks. So if we're looking ahead, that's not very good for us because we got to focus on us here the next 2 weeks, and we got to get a lot better before tournament time. So I think that's a pretty easy way to stay focused in the moment. We just have to focus on us and continue to get better and put ourselves in the best position we can going into the tournament.
And what little incremental changes would you like to see from now until sectional time?
I think consistency. I don't necessarily think I have okay, we've got to we've got to run the ball better, we've got to defend this better or that better. Because I think we've done all of those things well at times. We've thrown it well, we've run it well, we've defended the run well, we've defended the pass well, but we've maybe only put that all together in one game, and that being the South Warren game. So we got to work on being more consistent as a football team So when all those pieces of the puzzle come together, we have a chance to be pretty good. But right now, we have not done a great job of putting all those pieces together. Maybe we throw the ball well for a game, but we didn't run it well, and we didn't do this on defense, but we did this well. And it can be different things every week. I just think we've got to get more consistent in what we do, throughout.
When we return to the Coach Nick Hart Show, we talk about what senior night means and how the lower level teams have played this season.
You're dialed in to the Nick Hart Show, brought to you by Whole Concrete Construction, Prodigy Mold and Tool Incorporated, by Pro Rehab of Hobstadt, Prudential Advisors, The Barthel Agency, Rawhide Golf Supplies, Riano Family Fitness, Sandy's Pizza and Mini Storage, Shearer Monument, Scotty's Lawn Equipment, Singleton's Country Kennel, Stodgel Funeral Home, Team Black Law PC, by Tai Chow, The Brass Ring and Pizza Kitchen, The Image Inks Company, Titan Construction Partners, TYFL, the Titan Youth Football League, by Varnado Construction, Vomac Truck Sales and Service Incorporated, We Simply Clean, by Whitledge Tree Service, and Young's Auto Body. Time to go back now to the Nick Hart Show.
And obviously, last home game of the year, going to be senior night. It's always a hard time of year, especially for the seniors and the coaching staff who has seen them grow from freshmen until now. What does senior night mean to you, the coaching staff, and the seniors?
I think it's a great night to honor. I don't care what sport it is, football or any other sport. To do it for 4 years and especially to be good at it takes a lot of hard work and dedication. I don't see, and maybe it's because we've been fortunate enough to go on some playoff runs here where you get a bunch of extra home games. I don't necessarily see it as an ending. It's a little bit more of like a celebration of these guys and what they've accomplished over 4 years. And hopefully there's more to come here in the coming weeks. Just to celebrate that accomplishment of playing for 4 years and what they've given to the program, whether they're a 4-year starter or a 4-year scout team player, it all takes the same amount of hard work and dedication and giving that to the program. And so, I always kind of see senior night as a celebration of what these guys have done in their high school football career. And again, obviously, hopefully there's more to come. Because we have most years, been able to get a couple of 1, 2, 3 home playoff games. So it's, hopefully not their last game here, at home. But no, I think I just, kind of see it as that celebration of them being, what they've done in the program and their dedication and hard work.
And lastly, Coach, going from the seniors to now lower level guys, what do you make of the low level team's success so far this year?
We've had a great year in the program from the varsity on down, and I think I don't ever put a whole lot of we want to be good and we want to play good football. I think there's a lot of different ways to run a program. So I've never really gotten caught up on our JV's undefeated or our freshmen's undefeated or our, whatever. Because, when you play like we do and you're two platooned, that hurts the levels on down, right? Because if you're going to play your 11 or 13 best guys, then you've got you're going to add more to your JV and then to your freshmen. So no, it's been a great year. Our freshmen are undefeated, our JV's undefeated, and they've played some really good teams. So, again, the undefeated thing doesn't really matter to me. It's how we're competing and playing at the level against those teams that's important. And so, I think it's great. And it shows the depth of our program, and especially because, we are kind of junior and sophomore heavy, especially with some of the injuries that happened. We were even more junior and sophomore heavy than what we were before. I think that, that really shows kind of the depth that our program has right now, to be able to still do that at the JV and the freshman levels.
Well, Coach, as always, thank you so much for your time and good luck this Friday.
All right. Thanks, Riley.
Thanks for listening to the Nick Hart Show, our weekly chat with the head coach of the Gibson Southern Titans, Nick Hart. It's brought to you by the Gibson Southern Football Boosters, including Absolute Custom Machine LLC, ADG Architecture and Design Group Limited, Angermeyer Electric, A&T Concrete Supply, Brian Stevens Homes, Brett's Car Care, Carriage Inn, Chips, SellMyTees.com, by Cordray Insurance Agency, LLC, Shelter Insurance, by Davis Brothers, Daylight Land Management, LLC, Daywig Meats of Hobstock, Dillbeck Properties, Diversified Instruments, Duke Energy, Emerson Cattle Company, ERA First Advantage Realty, Rodney Langford, by Fast Break Convenience Stores, by Flanders, by Fort Branch Car Wash, Foster Construction, Fryman Land Service, LLC, by Hobstadt Summerfest, by Heritage Federal Credit Union, Heritage Petroleum, Hillside Gardens Landscaping and Garden Center, HMC Gears, in memory of Darwin and Eric Callis, by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, Nathan Belote, by Jarbo Tax Service, JMCO Technologies, Johnson Commercial Mowing Incorporated, K&K Excavating Incorporated, Casey Fuquay, State Farm Agent, Kathy Solman Photography, Key Construction Company Incorporated, Kiesel Wagner Survey LLC, by Lively Machine Company, by Landscape Supply Incorporated, Lowry Ag, by Mytech Systems, Morton Solar LLC, by National Vet Help, by Ohio Valley Grain Inspection Incorporated, also by Parker Excavating, Perfect Climate Heating, Air and Plumbing, by Pole Concrete Construction, Prodigy Mold and Tool Incorporated, by Pro Rehab of Hobstadt, Prudential Advisors, The Barthel Agency, Rawhide Golf Supplies, Riano Family Fitness, Sandy's Pizza and Mini Storage, Shearer Monument, Scotty's Lawn Equipment, Singleton's Country Kennel, Stodgel Funeral Home, Team Black Law, PC, by Tai Chow, The Brass Ring and Pizza Kitchen, The Image Inks Company, Titan Construction Partners, TYFL, the Titan Youth Football League, by Varnado Construction, Vomac Truck Sales and Service Incorporated, We Simply Clean, by Whitledge Tree Service, and Young's Auto Body. The Nick Hart Show, a special production of the Wabash Valley College Radio, TV, and Digital Media Department.